In the secluded town of Hollow Creek, whispers of an ancient curse floated like the mist that rolled in each night. It was said that anyone who heard their echo in the dead of night was doomed to confront their darkest fears. Jenny, Mark, Lisa, and Tom were inseparable. The four had grown up together, their friendship forged through countless adventures in the forests surrounding their town. Hollow Creek had always been a source of mystery and excitement, and the abandoned cabin they discovered deep in the woods promised to be the ultimate thrill. "Just think of the stories we'll tell," Mark grinned as they approached the dilapidated structure. The cabin was a relic from a forgotten time, its wooden beams sagging and windows boarded up. A chill hung in the air, but excitement overrode any apprehensions. As twilight faded into night, the friends built a fire inside the cabin, its flickering light casting eerie shadows on the walls. They laughed and called out to each other, their voices echoing back with an unnatural clarity. Lisa shivered but forced a smile, determined not to be the one to show fear. Then the echoes changed. "Tom, did you hear that?" Jenny whispered, her eyes wide with unease. Tom nodded slowly, his face pale. The echoes, once a playful mimicry of their own voices, had begun to distort, warping into something sinister. They repeated their words, but with an edge that spoke of malevolence. One by one, the friends were lured into separate rooms by the twisted echoes of their own voices. Mark found himself face to face with a version of himself that sneered and mocked his every insecurity. Jenny's echo whispered her deepest secrets, revealing fears she had never spoken aloud. Lisa's echo showed her visions of failure and despair, while Tom's manifested as a grotesque, twisted figure that taunted him relentlessly. As the night wore on, the cabin seemed to pulse with a life of its own, feeding off their terror. The friends' attempts to regroup were thwarted by the malevolent echoes that herded them like cattle. Desperation grew as they realized that the echoes were more than just sound. They were entities, feeding off their fear and growing stronger. In a moment of clarity, Jenny remembered an old legend about breaking the curse. "We have to confront them," she shouted, her voice trembling. "Face our fears and they'll lose their power." With dawn still hours away, the friends steeled themselves for final confrontation. One by one, they faced their echoes, forcing themselves to accept their deepest fears. The echoes writhed and screamed, their forms flickering and fading as the friends stood their ground. As the first light of dawn seeped through the cracks in the cabin, the echoes dissolved into the air, leaving the friends exhausted but alive. They stumbled out of the cabin, the oppressive weight of the curse lifting with the rising sun. Hollow Creek's ancient curse had been broken, but the memory of that night would forever haunt their dreams. The echoes of Hollow Creek had revealed their deepest fears, but in facing them, they had found a strength they never knew they possessed.